What's up, guys? Welcome back to Field Series Review. Today, we're going to be looking at how to layer for cold weather whitetails. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So before we jump into today's video, make sure you drop down below to like this video, subscribe to the channel, head over to Instagram, head over to TikTok, give us a follow, see what's happening over there. Also, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that's going to be Kawonu Gear. So Kawonu Gear takes PVC coated wiring and makes pretty much anything that you could think of. Everything from lanyard drops so that you can throw on your cigarette lighter, you can put on your chapstick, you can put on your Mojo remote. They also make sunglass straps, they make gun slings, they make straps for your blind bag. Anything that you can think of to use this high quality PVC coated wiring, they got it. So make sure you head over to their website down below. Make sure you use promo code FSReview. You'll get 10% off any order over, I think, $30. So lots of cool stuff over there, lots of cool apparel. So go and check them out. All right, guys. So today we're talking about how to properly layer yourself for whitetails whenever it gets down into colder temperatures. And I'm talking about down into the low 30s, 20s, maybe even the teens. This is how I layer and how you should be layering your system to get the most out of everything that you have. And even if I wasn't running Sitka gear, I would still layer the same thing. I would use something like Nike Dry Fit, Under Armour, Drake, whatever you want to use. But the layering system, what you use and why you use it, is all going to be the same. And it's going to change a little bit from whitetail to waterfowl, and I'm going to do a waterfowl video covering it. But going to come in four primary sections. I'm going to talk about each section briefly. I've done this before a couple of years ago, but I'm going to give you guys a quick refresher and have some updated items that are out now from Sitka Gear. So your first system, your first layer, you would say, would be your next to skin layer. This is not your base layer. This is your next to skin layer. This is going to be your lightest layer. And the two primary things you're going to use are going to either be the Core Lightweight series, Core Lightweight Crew, Core Lightweight Hoodie. You can use that for the top and the bottom. I run the synthetic, the top and the bottom. You can also do the Merino 130 for your top and your bottom next to skin if you want to use merino wool. What this does is this wicks all the moisture away. This keeps the moisture from soaking through and getting into your next layer, which is going to be your base layer. And that would then soak your insulation layer or your mid layer. So this first layer is extremely important. I use the Core Lightweight. You can also use the Merino 130, but this is your next to skin piece. No matter how cold it is outside, no matter what's going on, I'm going to use this thin Core Lightweight piece for my top and for my bottom, and that is going to be the first thing to touch my skin. All right, guys, so that's going to bring us to our next part of the system, our second phase, if you want to call it, and that is our base layer. And that is the layer that's going to start creating warmth. That's going to be the layer that's going to be tight to us, not next to skin. That's going to be our next to skin piece, our Core Lightweight Merino 130. But this is going to be our base layer for warmth. And for cold weather, I like to go with, for whitetail, I like to go with the Fanatic hoodie. You can get away with the Core Heavyweight hoodie. I like to go with Fanatic hoodie because of the face mask and whatnot. If you prefer to run merino wool, you can use the Merino 330. But for whitetails, I highly recommend the Fanatic hoodie. It comes with kangaroo pockets and whatnot, but I've never used them. This is solely a base layer that I'm going to layer other things on top of. It's very warm. It's got this grid pattern built into here to allow good flexibility. If you were not running Sitka gear, you could use your base layer, something like Nike Dry Fit, and then go like Under Armour or Cold Gear like 3.0. That would be another way to layer that. But this base layer, top and bottom, and just use the heavyweight bottoms, is going to be a great way to start locking in and creating warmth close to your body. And that is your base layer. And like I said, the Fanatic hoodie, the Core Heavyweight hoodie, the Merino 330, and then the same thing with the bottoms. You can do the Core Heavyweight bottoms, or you can do the Merino. I think there's a 330 also. for the bottoms, and that's going to be your base layer to start creating your warmth. All right, guys, now into phase 3 of the layering system, and this is going to be our mid layer, or I like to call our insulative layer. This is where we get our insulation. This is where the heat starts to build. Um, this is where Primaloft insulation or Berber fleece really come into play. Now, for the bottoms, for whitetail, I recommend Equinox midi pants. You can get away with the gradient pants from the Waterfowl collection. They have them in an earth color now. Same thing, Berber fleece on the inside. These are not windproof, but Berber fleece on the inside. They're very warm. They're made to be worn as a mid layer or insulative layer, to be comfortable, allow you to move, but start building, really building up heat, building up warmth, so that you can put your last layer on top of. And we'll talk about that in a second. Now, we come to our tops. Okay, so for the bottoms, you can get away with like the core, or get away with the Equinox midi. You can get away with the Dakota pants, and you can get away with the gradient pants for your mid layer for your bottoms. Now, for the top, this is where it splits. You can go Berber fleece for your insulation if you want, like a Traverse hoodie. You can go Primaloft insulation, which is what I prefer. And it used to be the Celsius jacket, and then there was the Celsius midi, and now it's the ambient. I like to run the ambient. It's lightweight, very mobile, pretty quiet, stretchy, and very warm. It has the Primaloft insulation running all the way through it, and that is going to start building massive amounts of heat, especially when you've got your core heavyweight base layer underneath it, and then you've got your next to skin piece. You're really going to start building that heat with anything with Primaloft insulation. I think a lot of guys are probably going to get away with the new duck oven this coming year, because for whitetail, because it's in that earth tone, and guys are going to be using that some too. But you can use a Berber fleece top if you want. Something like a Traverse hoodie is a good option, or you can go with Primaloft insulation. Just know that if it's Primaloft insulation and it's not windproof, it is a mid layer. It is an insulative layer. Same thing. Guys ask all the time, what's the difference between the Traverse hoodie and like a Dakota hoodie in the whitetail line? One's windproof, one's not. The Traverse hoodie is not windproof. It is made to really be worn as an insulative mid layer. So those are some of your options for that third phase, that mid layer, that to really build up the heat to keep you warm. All right, guys. So now we're looking at our last phase, our fourth phase of the system that I run. I'm down here in North Georgia. I hunt Georgia, sometimes in Tennessee, sometimes I go down to Alabama. So I run a 4-layer system. We did our next to skin piece to wick the moisture away. We did our base layer, which is tight fitting, heavyweight material to start building that warmth. We did our mid layer, which is for the top, is either going to be a Primaloft insulative piece like an ambient jacket, or a Berber fleece piece like a Traverse jacket or hoodie, and then the Berber fleece pants. Those are not windproof. Those are to create warmth. And everybody knows during whitetail season, the wind's going to be kicking. And that's where your fourth piece comes in, and that's your outer shell. And none other than the Stratus jacket, and the Stratus bibs, or the Stratus pants. These are very versatile pieces. Whatever you put on underneath these guys, it is going to lock that heat in. It's going to keep the wind out, keep moisture out to a certain extent, and is really going to let things like the ambient jacket work underneath and really start building heat, and keep you nice and comfortable. The Stratus setup is very quiet, very soft. It's made to layer under. So if you buy this jacket and it's a little big on you, it's because it's made to have something underneath it. And this is the top layer. And I know some of you guys are going to say, well, it's 4 jackets. You've spent all this money on this and that. Well, if you do it in reverse, from warmer season up, you can still use all those pieces throughout. This is a 4-piece system to get me into cold weather. So my last system on top, or my last phase, is going to be the outer shell, the windproof shell. You can also get away with the Jetstream jacket. Works extremely well too. It's now offered in whitetail colors. But your fourth phase is going to be something with Gore Windstopper to lock in all your heat and keep the wind out. All right, guys. So now we're going to do a little shortcut. Now we're going to combine the third and the fourth phase, which is the insulative layer and the outer shell layer, into one piece. And this is for the people, this is for the folks that are consistently hunting in low 30, 20-degree teens weather. This is the guys, Ohio, Michigan. These are the cold weather guys. And for whitetails, one of the best ones is going to be the Fanatic series. This is the Fanatic jacket. And this is the Fanatic bibs. This is going to combine the last two phases, the Permaloft insulation phase with the Gore Windstopper phase. And that is what these guys allow you to do. Here in Georgia, I don't run this. It's a little bit overkill for me. I do have a buddy of mine. This is the set that he loves. He loves hopping out of the truck from work with a pair of jeans on and a collared shirt or a long sleeve shirt and throwing this set on and not having to go through all the layering for a quick afternoon hunt. Or people that get cold easy. So if you're in consistently cold temperatures and you're looking for something to give you a little more kick, something with a little more backbone, a little more strength, you want to cut out the dual layering of the ambient and the stratus or whatnot, you can jump right to the Fanatic. If you know you're going to be hunting in consistent cold weather, you can go straight to the Fanatic and cut out phases 3 and just go straight to phase 4. All right, guys. So I hope you like the rundown of how you need to properly layer for cold weather whitetail. There's really 4 phases. There is the Nexus skin, the base layer, the mid layer, and the outer shell. If you're in cold weather, you can combine 3 and 4 and go with something that has insulation and has the windproof, the Gore Windstopper, like the Fanatic series. So anyways, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, head on over to our sponsor, Kawonu, at KawanuGear.com. Make sure you use promo code FSReview. You'll get 10% off any purchase over $30. And we'll see you guys next time.